For some perspective on that meeting, we've reached Petro Poroshenko. He served as president of Ukraine from 2014 to 2019, just before Zelensky. He's in Kyiv. Hi, Mr. Poroshenko. Good to have you back on our program.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
I wanted to start off by asking about the visit of the leaders of France, Germany, and Italy, and in particular, your thoughts about what the visit symbolizes following some controversial remarks, especially from Mr. Macron, who said that Mr. Putin should not be humiliated over his mistake and talked about the potential prospect of a negotiated settlement. What do you think this visit does to those statements?
First of all, this visit has a very great and symbolic importance. We, and me personally, invite all four presidents and chancellor to visit it from the first day of the war. But today is 113 days. And this is extremely important because of the importance of the June in Ukrainian history, for Ukrainian future, and for Ukrainian victory. And we consider this from three points. Points number one, this is the weapons supply. Points number two, this is the sanction and embargo. And point number three, this is the European and Euro-Atlantic perspective for Ukraine.
My question, though, is also about what Mr. Macron had said regarding Mr. Putin and whether or not he should not be humiliated so that there is still some sort of diplomatic off-ramp. Do you agree with that?
You cannot find out the nation in the world who want more than we, Ukrainian, the peace, but not capitulation, and the ceasefire, withdrawing Russian troops, and releasing all the hostages. But it was extremely important that the Macron, Scholz, Klaus Johannes, and Draghi make all their statement after visiting Bucha, Irpin, the symbol of the Russian massacre, the symbol of the war crime of the Russian barbarian. And with that situation, they understand now that it is quite difficult to find out a compromise with Putin, because Putin want to have all of us dead, and we want to live. Putin want to wipe the Ukraine from the world map, and we are the country with a 1,000-year history. And with that situation, this is like black and white. We cannot find out the compromise. And the compromise can be, the diplomatic solution can be, when Putin understands that this is not the war with Ukraine. This is the war with the whole civilized world. This is the war with a country with whom the whole world demonstrates unity and solidarity. And inside of the country, inside of the Ukraine, we are surprised, the Putin, by our unity. And Ukrainian armed forces, which was created since year 2014 by me as a Supreme Commander-in-Chief, also demonstrate that we are very efficient despite of the fact that Russian army is significantly bigger. That's why we are for peace. But please, the territorial integrity of Ukraine, this is not a point for compromise.
Mr. Poroshenko, on the integrity or the abilities of the military in Ukraine right now, you talked about weapons and the supply of those weapons from the West. Ukraine's deputy defense minister says only about 10% of what has been promised in military aid or lethal aid for Ukraine has been received in Ukraine. Is there a connection from your viewpoint between that statistic, that information, and Russia's recent successes in the Donbass?
Look, this is completely different things. First of all, don't believe that Russia has a success. And don't believe those who say that Ukraine is losing. Many times we had the similar fact, and this is the Russian narrative. We, again, surprised the world when Putin promised to capture Ukraine within 3 days, which is not happening, neither with the 3 days, nor with the 3 weeks, nor with the 3 months, and never happened. Ukraine never give up. And with that situation, no matter if Russia has a 10 times more artillery and 12 times more missiles, we never give up, and Russia don't have a success. But more weapons are never enough. And we definitely need more weapons, including all these things. And after yesterday, Rammstein, I am not supporting the deputy minister, and I'm significantly more optimistic. At least 10%. This is okay. I will keep silence because of the unity, and I promise not criticize the bureaucrats from Minister of Defense.
But is it your impression then that are you telling me that you think that more weapons have been received?
Definitely. This is my conclusion after the results of the Rammstein meeting. This is connected with the artillery system, and today in Kiev, President Macron promised additional supply. We have positive news from the Great Britain, and we have a positive news at least from Chancellor Scholz, which also said that we will receive multi-launch rocket system. But we need more to win. Can you imagine that this is just a game changer? Can you imagine that the future of the world, security of the world, depends from 100 jet fighter, from 300 anti-aircraft missiles, from 500 tanks, and from 1,000 artillery systems? And this is less than we destroyed from the Russian armed forces for the 3.5 months of war. We have a right, and please help us to save the world. Help us to save you. We don't need NATO soldiers. We need just to equip Ukrainian soldiers to beat Russia and to throw them away from the Ukrainian soil. Very simple.
Thank you very much, Mr. Poroshenko. Please stay safe.
Thanks a lot, and thank you for your support.
Hi, I'm Vashi Capellos, host of Power in Politics. See more of our show by subscribing to the CBC News channel or click the link for another video.